the basics. How do you actually use the software to talk to your robot? The software we're using is found right here on the desktops. It is called LEGO Mindstorms EV3. So you double click and open that software. When it opens, it pretty much always asks you to update firmware, and you just say OK on that. It's just checking to make sure everything's all set. You're not going to use the user guide. You're not going to start with the quick start. We're going to go here to the Robot Educator, where inside the Robot Educator we're going to deal with basics. Now, obviously there's things beyond basics, but you have to start at the very beginning. In basics, we are looking at 9 different lessons here. So you have configuring block, straight move, curved move, tank move, move object, stop at a line, stop at an angle, stop at an object. The very last thing is your brick programming, which you actually use the LCD screen on the brick to do that. I'm going to say that you have to start with configuring blocks. It is the lesson that teaches you the most, but that one you don't even download to the robot. So for that, I'm going to sort of skip that, and I'm going to go to tank move. Tank moves are going to be our most common moves that we're going to use, but anyway, whether it's lesson 1 or 4, you open it up. Again, you should be going in order. Starting in lesson 1, we should be checking you as you go along. When you open it, you get your screen that you're building on. This here is where you're going to download. So your robot should be plugged in and turned on for that to be lit up. If your robot's not plugged in and turned on, that's not going to be lit up down there. That being said, you just follow through the steps here and let the educator teach you. Step 2 out of 5 is telling me I have to build the base. Well, I don't need to build the base because it's already done. Step 3 out of 5, it shows you what the actual thing is doing. So here the robot is backing up at a turn with a tank command, and here it's waiting, and now it's turning again with a tank command, and now it's waiting, and then it's turning one more time with a tank command. Again, if you did lesson 1 through 3, some of this should be familiar to you. And then in step 4, it's telling us to test it. It says recreate the program. So I'm going to pull up a tank steering, a move tank command, and I'm going to drop it in the line. Now, I'm only going to do the first command for sake of time. When you do this one, lesson 4, you're going to do all of it. I'm going to pull in a weight next. It tells me to pull in a weight, but first it tells me to change this mode and then change these parameters to that mode. So I'm going to change the mode to degrees, and then I'm going to change the parameter here to a 40, and that's going to be a -40. So I'm just going to highlight it, and I'm going to type it on the keyboard 40, and then here I'm going to highlight it, type in the keyboard -40. You can try and slide it, but it'll drive you crazy. And then here I'm going to go 685 for that parameter as well. And then I'm going to call up a weight, okay? And then I would continue on. But right now we're just going to download it so you could see that process, and then we'll put it on the table and run it real quick. This is the download button right here. The command's ready to go in there. You'll notice right now that it says it's tank move under the actual file, but there's no name for the program because I didn't save anything. So now I'm going to actually hit download. And because the robot's turned on, it's going to go into that bot. And it makes that sound. And now basically I'm just going to unplug my data cable, and when I put it on the table it should actually make that turning motion. So I'm going to just place it on a table with borders, which you have to do, and I'm going to hit run, and it's going to run that last thing that was put in there, and that's it right there. And that's basically what you do. You have to show us these things. Each lesson you have to show up, and we have to sign off according to the handout that you have.